Invincible Season 3, now done and dusted, all 8 episodes are out, so let's talk about it.
It's time for a change.
So now that the season finale of Invincible Season 3 is now out for you guys to go and check out, it's time to look back at Season 3 and discuss the things we liked and the things we didn't like about it. Now, firstly, that finale, let's just get straight into that finale, because that finale was arguably the best episode of all of Invincible. It was so cool. Now, last week, we obviously had Conquest, his big arrival. And a lot of people were not happy with Jeffrey Dean Morgan's voice for that particular character. And I was one of the people who was like, yo, it's Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Let's go. I'm happy for that. And I thought it fit. This episode showcased you why they selected that man. That man, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, absolutely killed it as Conquest, man. He brought the villain to life. When he is talking, you feel like it's Conquest talking. It is just this brilliant voice that elevated the sequence and the scenes with Conquest in it to an utter extreme where you're like, yo, this guy, he's a problem, man. He is a real serious problem. And I thought, he killed it, man. He killed it. I don't want to hear anyone say Jeffrey Dean Morgan was a good choice. Because he was. And when he's talking to Adam and Oliver and Mark, it's just brilliant. It really is. Now, the fight itself was, oh man, absolutely incredible. It's bloody. It's gory. It's everything we want in Invincible. And it showed you the threat of the Viltrumites to another extent. Obviously, we've had Viltrumites come before. You know, we've seen Nolan in action. We've seen Anissa in action. Conquest was on another level. And even Cecil makes mention of this. Like, this guy is stronger than what we've seen so far. And just the bloodlust nature of Conquest elevated that sequence. And, you know, he wasn't just there to conquer the planet. And he says it multiple times. His whole goal is he enjoys getting blood on his fist. He enjoys the thrill of fight. He loves to be challenged and to test himself. And the only way to get Mark to finally drop the guard and go all out, he's like, well, I'm going to do whatever I need to do. And he was going to break Oliver in half. I mean, that sequence when he's holding Oliver and like tearing him. Oh, man. But it was the sequence when he grabs Mark and throws him, you know, very similar to what Nolan did to him with the train. Goes through the city. People, kids, women, men, all getting dismembered. Blood everywhere. And then Adam Eve comes and that scene. Look, Adam Eve, man. She stood on business in the finale. She stood on business, man. We got to see her limiters be completely gone and see her true extent of her powers, which is, now you know why Eve is one of the most powerful in the verse. But when Eve is holding her own and then Conquest gets her and he's like splits her face and then arm straight through her torso, I was not expecting it to be that brutal, but it was, man. And this allows Mark to finally, you know, unhinge himself and go at Conquest with everything he's got and eventually defeating Conquest. But it was brutal. Obviously, we have the Rex funeral as well. Rex was such a great character. And I think this season, Season 3, really got Rex more as a character and developed him a lot more. And he became one of these characters you start to love quite a lot. And when he does have that, you know, suicide mission that he does against one of the Invincible variants, that death has that impact on you, and now you feel that weight, and you can see the other characters and the weight on their shoulders as well from this death. I thought they did Rex really, really well in Season 3 and enhanced his character, you know, showcasing that he's changed as the person he once was. He's not this playboy person anymore. He's ready to, you know, settle down, but he can't give up. And I think that sequence when he talks about it, like, I can't give this up because Rex Blode is who I am. That's my identity. I don't have a real name. I don't have a real identity. I've literally been, from the day I was born, I've been bred to be a superhero, to be this person. And I can't just switch that off. So I thought the character of Rex was done really, really well here. The stuff with Cecil and Mark, I really, really enjoyed. Now, obviously, when they come to the confrontation of, you know, him putting something in Mark's neck. That was a big thing in season 3, and it was a big fallout between their relationship. But at the same time, you can still tell that it's like that weird father-son relationship where there's a stage when you're a young teen and stuff like that, and you don't quite understand what your dad's trying to say, and you just hate him. At that point, you're like, I don't want anything doing. I don't want to. No, you're bossing me around. You're doing this and that. No, and you don't actually realize it. It's kind of at that stage. But look, I don't agree with what Cecil did. I understand the motivations of Cecil, and I think that is something that was explored really well in season 3, was giving us that more backstory to Cecil and the decisions he makes. Now, I totally understand the motivation and where Cecil's coming from. He's obviously just a regular human, and his job is to protect the world. And it's from anything domestic or extraterrestrial. He has to do that. And obviously Mark is a Viltrumite, and he knows what it's like with Nolan, even though he didn't trust Nolan that, but now he needed something like a safeguard to basically essentially protect. But I don't think the way that he did it was the correct way to do it. I agree with what he's trying to do, but I just think the actions weren't the right way to do. Where if you come from Mark's perspective, I understand Mark as well, because Mark is like, you should trust me. You should know I'm not my father. So what my father did is not what I'm going to do. And you can already see that Mark is a different character from his father. But I think the relationship in that moment was done really, really well. And you can see the two ideologies clashing and coming together. And I thought that was great. The stuff with Debbie is fantastic as well. Her trying to deal with Oliver. Oliver was a character I thought I was going to hate, but now I'm really, really loving Oliver. And I want to see more of him now moving forward. But his transition as well, and with Debbie trying to, teach him, don't do this, don't do that, be safe, be this. I thought was really done really well. And obviously Debbie trying to move on as well, I thought was something that was explored really well. And especially towards the end when she starts blaming herself after the Conquest fight for Mark's injuries and that, and saying like, this is my fault. I brought you into the world here. All the powers and everything, it's all my fault and everything. And I really resonate with where Debbie's coming from. And she's had such a tough life already. And it's kind of just, it's crazy. So I really, really liked everything they did there. Obviously, the relationship with Eve and Mark, so much better than Amber. I just think this relationship works. And I'm really enjoying it. The stuff with Enstrom was great as well. The Invincible War was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it. I like seeing all the other variants and stuff of Mark as well. And it was brutal, which is something season 3 really went hard on, was the brutality and showcasing us that this isn't a pleasant world that everyone lives in. So that was all great. The stuff with Alan the Alien and Nolan, I really enjoyed. Alan the Alien is just such a fun character. So that stuff was all great. Battle Beast, seeing him again and him just going ham was fantastic. That was incredible. But look, the animation at parts, hasn't been like the best. The finale was absolutely animated brilliantly. And this is the question that everyone has always, like, this is the big thing that's coming up now, is like, would you rather get a season every single year with mid-animation, or would you rather wait an extra year, 2 years, and then get better animation for it? And I'm always going to be like, quality over quantity. I would rather them take 2 years and give us the level of animation that the finale had for the whole entire season. I would love nothing more than that, because the more quantity you get, you're going to get, the quality is going to start to go down. We've seen that with the MCU. The MCU is a prime example. When they started pumping out quantity over the quality started to really, really drop. Where here, it's like, I want Invincible to stand the test of time. I want to be able to look back 5 years, 10 years, and be like, it's still watchable. I don't want it, because animation's going to change. Over year, it's going to get better and better and better as more technology, people get better. That's naturally what's going to happen. So why have mid-animation and get a season every single year, and then you look back 10 years later and go, oh, it's kind of unwatchable now. I don't want that. I don't want that for Invincible. I would rather have quality over quantity, but obviously some people would rather just pump it out as quick as possible. And I don't necessarily think that is the right thing to do. But obviously, that's people are going to have different opinions on it. It is what it is. But I thought season 3 was good. I really, really enjoyed it. Isn't my favorite season? I'm probably gonna say yes. It's my favorite season right now. I still might think the season 1 finale might be my favorite episode just because of the Nolan and Mark stuff. But overall, I really enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think of season 3. Did you guys enjoy it? Did you not? Smash it down in the comment section below. Smash that like button. Click subscribe. And I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe and peace out.